Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today we're looking at the incredible array of midfielders priced between 6 and 7 million in FPL ahead of game week 1. Before we do that, quick plug for the members area of Fantasy Football Scout. Lots of discounts going on. Do check that out on the website fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, and there's a lot of the images we'll show in this video, the season ticker for example, also a table I've made, you can do in the members area there, so you can do those things. If you want to find out who's the best Chelsea asset, you can do that. You can make your own table and you can use all the different metrics that you want to, shots on target or expected stats, those types of things there. There's also the comparison tool and lots of other gadgets there, exclusive members articles as well, which we do draw on for these videos and podcasts as well. Very enlightening from the team there, headed up by Neil, the editor. So do also do have a look at some of the other videos and podcasts that we've been doing during summer. Lots of team reveal videos, and I've done a few on things like best basement, bargain basement defenders, and also premium midfielders. Premium defenders, and also mid-price midfielders, which is what we're looking at here. So in a moment, what I'll do is I'll put a table up I've made of the best assets, looking really at the expected stats last season, and whether they may do well this time around as well. I'll also put up an image of, just to show the vast array of midfielders in this price bracket, 6 to 7 million. It's a lot, dozens. And before we do that, we'll have a look at the fixtures. I like to do these for these types of videos. So I've got a season ticker because it just helps to sort of get your mind going in terms of the fixtures to target, teams you don't want to avoid, because you essentially you're just trying to, you see the list of players to get and you just want to whittle them down to the ones that you want, best fixtures, potentially good form, those types of things. So we can see for this, Liverpool, Fulham, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Chelsea have the best fixtures within this first 6. I know that Chelsea do have Man City at home first and Southampton have Newcastle away, but on the whole their fixtures are good. There's the odd bad fixture in there, but pretty good on the whole. Nottingham Forest as well, very good. Manchester United, quite strong. It sort of dips down, gets a bit mixed, and towards the end you've got Wolves with terrible fixtures, Arsenal, Aston Villa and Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle. I mean, it gets worse. They've basically only got one good fixture in the first 6. Brentford, pretty poor as well. Great opening fixture, Crystal Palace, Southampton at home, West Ham at home in game week 6, but the rest is awful. Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham away, pretty bad. Arsenal, mixed. Got 3 good home games, 3 awful away games. Aston Villa, Tottenham and Man City. It is Arsenal, but Wolves, Brighton and Leicester at home in that period. Man City as well, a bit of mixed bag. They got this nice run from game weeks 2 to 4, Ipswich, West Ham, Brentford, but they do have Chelsea, Arsenal and Newcastle in that time as well. Similar with Tottenham, great opening 2 fixtures, Leicester and Everton, but then they got Newcastle and Arsenal, Brentford and Manchester United, so it gets a bit middling towards the end there as well. So we can see the sort of teams we want there. Let's have a look at the midfield list they've got in FPL. I'm not going to talk about all of these players because we're not going to be interested in them, and a couple of them are actually just leaving the Premier League as well. So, but it just shows, for those watching, you can see there's just under 40 or so midfielders, all priced between 6 million and 7 million, which is an amazing array, and many of them are really good options. Many of them aren't, but many of them are. And for those listening on the podcast versions, I'm just showing a picture of a whole bunch of midfielders. There's a lot of them. So it shows that in the 7 million bracket, you've got Martinelli, Trossard, Boma at Brentford, Sterling, Eze, Rashford. 6.5 million. You've got a couple of dozen there. You've got lots of Man City options like Doku and Grealish. You've got the Manchester United options like Garnacho, Barnes and Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle, Gibbs White and Nottingham Forest. You've got a lot of Spurs midfielders, including Johnson, who could be a good asset as well. And then to a lesser extent, you've got Wolves and West Ham assets, not great fixtures as we just looked at there. And then you've got this 6 million bracket, and Dewsbury Hall really stands out there. Gallagher looks like he's off from Chelsea. Chelsea have strong fixtures apart from the first one. strong early fixtures. Dewsbury Hall could emerge there. I would really like to get Dewsbury Hall in. He's a player I really admire. Brighton, my team, almost got him, but obviously Chelsea then nabbed in as soon as Brighton showed interest. And so I do like Dewsbury Hall as an asset here, but in that 6 million bracket, Gallagher's going, Anthony I'm not interested in, Almiron I'm not interested in, Joe Ellington I'm not interested in, Paqueta I'm not interested in. So if to run away from Dewsbury Hall, if you're wrong, you've got to go down to 5 million, even cheaper, really, or use money to move up. But if you go for one of the 6.5s, and it turns out Dewsbury Hall is the one to get, then you can just move down easily. Yeah, he'll go up 1 or 2, but he'll still be a bit cheaper. And, you know, if he's scoring well and he's gone up a bit, don't worry about the price changes, just get him in. But yeah, I do like him. One to watch out for in that price bracket, I reckon. He won't figure in the table I'm about to show because he was not in the Premier League last season. He was at Leicester. But when he was in the Premier League before with Leicester, he was very impressive, actually. Odd goal and assist, but for 6 million, I think it was pretty good. And he did very well at Leicester last season, whose manager is now the manager of Chelsea. Okay, let's have a look at the best 6 to 7 million midfielders. So what I've done is you've seen that big list, dozens and dozens of them. I've tried to whittle that down to 10 or so. Some of these people will reject. But I think they're all worth considering, possibly. And I've highlighted in blue those ones that I think are very popular or could be very popular, especially if they do well, because the fixtures are good and they've just shown good form recently as well. So let's just go down this list. I've sorted this by minutes per expected goal involvement. These are pretty strong for a lot of them. Yeah, and Bomo is top, 127 minutes per expected goal involvement. That's getting on. I mean, given the extra time, that's getting on for a goal involvement per match. Very strong. Should be nailed on. He's only had 22 starts last season, but he was injured for a lot of it. So if fit, he should play. He's won 42 fouls, which is, I put that in because that's all counts towards bonus now. Minutes per shot on target every 103 minutes, which is pretty much a shot on target a game. Price 7 million. Just remind you, his next 4 are Crystal Palace, great. Then Liverpool, not good. Southampton at home, great. Man City, not good. But Brentford have got the better of Man City in recent years, so you never know. But I do think it's got two strong fixtures there, which is slightly putting me off. But I don't know. The lure of Mbomo could be quite strong there. A good option. Eze will probably be the most popular in that 7 million price bracket. He's next on the list in terms of minutes per expected goal involvement. Every 140 minutes. He's won 48 fouls, so that is going to be good for bonus. In minutes per shot on target, get this, every 60 minutes. Really strong. He has been in my draft. I don't think he currently is, but now I'm reading out these stats here. I think I'm going to put him back in. Brentford away, West Ham at home, good opening couple of fixtures. Then Chelsea away, you never know. And then Leicester at home. So it's quite good fixtures early on. And I think my only question mark is, obviously last season, Elise, Mateta and Eze were very strong, a very strong front three. Elise's no longer there. Mateta, as far as I know, is still at the Olympics, but people will better correct me if I'm wrong there. But nevertheless, he's been involved there, so he may be a bit late back to pre-season. So I don't know whether Eze will be as strong an option, because I don't know if the Palace attack will be as strong this time round. So one to see. That's slightly putting me off there. Next in this list is 6.5, so it's a bit cheaper, and it's Brennan Johnson at Tottenham. He is currently in my draft. If I don't go for someone like Son, I do like those opening 2 fixtures, and I would sort of look to move him on. Or, I don't know, I think Johnson's pretty good. I mean, minutes per shot on target every 123 minutes. He's 6.5. Minutes per expected goal involvement every 155 minutes, so pretty strong. He's won 36 fouls as well. As far as we know at the moment, I think even if Spurs do sign anyone, it's rumoured that they're going to be looking for a striker, or rather a forward. But as far as I can tell, Johnson should start. I can't see why he wouldn't. You would imagine Son would start. Kulusevski, we'll mention him in a bit, but he may start as a false nine early on. That is a possibility for Spurs if they don't sign, because we're not seeing any sign of Richarlison, who may be on his way off. He may still be injured. It's a no-go for us, I think, Richarlison there. So Johnson is the one I like at the moment. Very impressed. And I've done a few team reveal videos, one with Mark Southerns, who's a Nottingham Forest fan. Brendan Johnson was, of course, there. It's one of his favourite players. And he partly convinced me as well with that one. He was very, very gung-ho about Brendan Johnson. He thinks he's been a bit underpriced. Could be. Next player is Bailey at Aston Villa. It's another 6.5 option. West Ham, Arsenal at home, Leicester and Everton. Fixtures aren't as good as, say, Crystal Palace, but we knew what Bailey could do last season. Very strong option there. His minutes per expected goal involvement every 156 minutes, which is the same as Johnson, more or less. He's better than Johnson in terms of minutes per shot on target as well. He's won 26 fouls, so not as strong as those other three players I mentioned there. But yeah, I like Bailey. It's a sort of a wait and see for me. And it's possible that Rodgers at 5 million could cement a place early on for Aston Villa. And that would be annoying. If you spent 6.5 on Bailey and then Rodgers is the one who's getting some goals and assists, or matching him for 1.5 less, or even bettering him. So that would be annoying. My instinct, though, would be, if you are going to go for Villa mids and you're desperate to get a Villa mid, Bailey down to Morgan Rodgers is much easier than trying to go from Rodgers to Bailey. So that's sort of the way I operate early on. I try and probably go for some of the more expensive options if I can, and then you look to run away from them. A couple of the next players, Arsenal. Now, Arsenal's fixtures are Wolves at home, Brighton at home, game week 3, but then it's got Villa and Tottenham. So I don't want to go heavy on Arsenal. And if you don't want to spend too much, Martinelli has been impressing in pre-season. I don't think Trossard's been back for them yet. They're both 7 million. Trossard, when he gets a start or when he comes on as a sub, boy, is he good. Minutes per shot on target every 79 minutes. Really strong there. Minutes per expected goal involvement, very similar to Bailey and Johnson, 157. Martinelli, not as strong, but still pretty good. Minutes per shot on target, 102. My sense is that Martinelli may start because he's had more of a pre-season. And Martinelli could be a strong option at 7 million. There is always that caveat that he'll come off, say, 70 minutes or not start at all. So there's issues there. And that's what, since you're paying him for, if these were totally nailed on players who were getting this level of goal involvement and totally nailed on, they wouldn't be 6 to 7 million. They'd be about 9, 10, 11, and so on. Okay, next one is Matoma at Brighton. So no Pascal Gross for us because it looks like he's going to be at Dortmund. He's 6.5, Matoma. Matoma has impressed in pre-season. He's back fit. Minter is also impressing as well. Dingra is available. So there's a lot of options on the wing. Solly March won't be back for a while, but he will be back soon. So there's another option there on the wing, and more to come probably. Brighton's transfer dealings have been quite strong this summer. Anyway, Matoma, minutes per shot on target every 99.7 minutes, very strong. His minutes per expected goal involvement every 212 minutes. His fouls won every 23 minutes. You'd think that'd be more because he's so tricksy, but he's actually really good at avoiding being fouled. He's that skillful. Obviously, unbiased. I'm a Brighton fan. Next up, Manchester United. Rashford. Rashford tends to go one in, one out in terms of seasons. One amazing season, and then he has a poor season. One amazing season, then a poor season. Now, he had a poor season last season, so could he be good this time round? You would imagine, Manchester United's transfers seem to be better this summer. They've still got Ten Hag, strong manager, but they've got, you would think that they will be better. It's more of a long-term project, I think, for them. But, Rashford could do well. Minutes per shot on target every 110 minutes. He is 7 million this time out. Only 26 starts. Minutes per expected goal involvement every 228. So as we're going down this list, the minutes per expected goal involvement rate is going down, is dipping. It's not one goal involvement expected every match. It's or a match and a half. It's every couple of matches, every 3 matches. So not as strong as well. Garnacho at 6.5. Minutes per shot on target is better than Rashford. And just to remind people, Manchester United have got Fulham, Brighton, Liverpool and Southampton. So it's a fairly good opening set of fixtures. And I do consider for both Liverpool and Manchester United, that game could potentially quite favourable. We've seen Rashford score Liverpool even when he and Manchester United have not been performing well, have gone into it in poor form, but he can still find a way, similar with the likes of Salah, etc. So it's a derby. So yeah, they're both strong options there. For me personally, so far, I think Eze for the fixtures, but I want to see a bit more in pre-season. And Bomo really tempts me. But none of the others so far, until you get down to Gibbs-White at 6.5. His minutes per expected goal involvement every 231 minutes, obviously not as strong as the others. Minutes per shot on target, not as strong as the others as well, every couple of games, every 2 and a bit games. Fouls won, though, this is huge, 57. Garnacho, fouls won, 54. I don't know whether to say Garnacho looks for fouls, but it looks like he's looking for fouls, and that's why he's getting fouled a lot. Gibbs-White, I wouldn't like to comment on, but I think he just gets fouled because he's a good player, and sometimes that's how teams have to cope with a player like that. Strong option, but I do think Hudson-Odoi at 5.5 could be a better option there. Gibbs-White is on penalties, and that's what you're paying for there. So I'd be minded, if you've got the money, go for Gibbs-White, and then you can move down to Hudson-Odoi. But it's those early fixtures. I'm not sure I'd want a lot of Nottingham Forest after that. They got Bournemouth and Southampton and Wolves, first 3, brilliant. Then they got Liverpool, so not as good. Speaking of Liverpool, Szoboszlai is next. Now, he's lower down on here in terms of minutes per expected goal involvement. Opening fixtures, Ipswich, Brentford, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, very strong. Fouls 129, pretty good. Minutes per shot on target, strong actually, 142 minutes there. But new manager, and as we've seen in pre-season, now I'm recording this on Wednesday morning, but that is before the next friendly, so we might get a bit more information about Liverpool and the friendly. But so far it's looking like Szoboszlai is playing at times in games in a more advanced midfield role. We saw in the previous friendly Salah moving down. No, Szoboszlai starting the attack, I think. Passed it to Salah. Salah steaming down the right on the wing. And then Szoboszlai moving into the box in the centre, literally pointing at his foot, looking at Salah, pointing to his foot. Salah, duly obliged, cross in, Szoboszlai goal. Will we see that more often? We could do. And that's why he'll probably be quite low owned early on. But it's strong fixtures. If I don't go for Salah, I'm very tempted to take a punt on Szoboszlai because I think I can run away from him. I do like Dewsbury Hall, I mentioned, so I can move down there. I think Szoboszlai could do well. Very, very tempted by him. If I don't go for Salah, I wouldn't go for Salah and Szoboszlai, but if I didn't have Salah in my draft, I think Szoboszlai would be the one I would get. As I said, Ipswich, Brentford and Nottingham Forest, as well as Manchester United in that first 4. Kulusevski I've included. He will not be mentioned a lot. He could be playing a false 9 though. He's been playing in an attacking role in pre-season. He has won 29 fouls, minutes per shot on target every 121 minutes. Spurs have got Leicester and Everton at first 2 fixtures, absolutely brilliant. Then Newcastle, Arsenal, not as good. And minutes per expected goal involvement, it's obviously it's very similar to Szoboszlai, 244 minutes. But he started 31 matches, so 31 games. So I don't think he's as much of a rotation risk as some people might think. And I think he would be really... He's a tempter. I think I prefer Johnson over Kulusevski. If Johnson gets injured and you can't get to Son and you're desperate for Spurs midfield, I think Kulusevski could be a strong option. Watch out for where he's going to play. He can play an attacking midfield role, but you would imagine maybe Maddison would have that creative role. You can play in that sort of false nine. Can play on the wing. You know, we have to see more pre-season and you know, follow on social media, and also read the articles about, you know, how in Fantasy Football Scout about how Spurs are going to be lining up there. Last couple of names on this list. These will not be popular, but you never know. I put them in there because they might emerge. McAllister, 47 fouls won. Very good at winning fouls. That's third best on this list. Minutes per shot on target very low. He will play. You would imagine a more central, deeper midfield role. So, but I don't know. He could end up on penalties. He's better penalties taken than Salah, put it that way. And I say that not as a Liverpool fan, I say that as a former Brighton fan, and he's a former player there. So, yeah, McAllister, keep an eye on. If it emerges, he's on penalties, just get him. But I think it's going to still be Salah. I can't see Salah being rooted from them. And McAllister, you know, strong option. Not the best on here, that's why I haven't highlighted him. Rice as well, have not highlighted. Keep an eye on him though. Fouls one very low at 13. Obviously, he's going to be playing deeper. Can chip in with a goal and assist, and on a lot of set pieces. His set piece delivery, his corners were really good. It was almost getting to the stage at some point after Christmas last season where as soon as you saw Rice step up for the corner, you just thought that's going to be a goal. And it pretty much did. Gabriel's head, Saliba's head, whoever's head it landed on, Havertz. There was a goal there, so I did like him. Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton, good, okay fixtures. I mean, and then Tottenham as well. So, you know, middling fixtures, and just one to mention really. So overall, this is a really good price bracket. There's a lot of options. Be careful. It's something I've said in other videos as well. Moderation is key. So if you've got a midfield of only premiums, that's probably not going to be that balanced. If you've got a midfield of only this price bracket, probably not going to be that well balanced. Have a cheaper one. Have a 2 or 3 though in this price bracket, and this includes 7.5 in that. Have a couple in here, you know, in that price bracket, and then maybe 1 or 2 premiums, or by premiums I mean sort of 9.5 million upwards. Just have that sort of mix so that you can move around and be flexible if you're wrong about them. There's a lot of options here, a lot that we think we're right about and we won't be, and there's a lot here that we have dismissed and we could be wrong about and we might want to get. And so bear that in mind, that within this price bracket, you know, I play a price points game within this price bracket. This is why I like it. I can move around to a lot of these options here, and there's loads in that big list I showed just now. I haven't included in this. There's the likes of Dewsbury Hall, for example, who perhaps didn't do well last season or weren't in the Premier League last season, and they could do really well this time out. Thanks a lot for your time. Good luck in Game Week 1. Good luck with whatever decisions you make. I'll be back for more videos, and all the team will as well, for lots of videos and podcasts to help get you prepared for Game Week 1. Do check out those offers in the members area as well. Thanks a lot for your time. Cheers. Bye now.